Anyway, all right. So let's I guess let's go ahead and get into the fake news today. Today is April 15th, and we've got a handful of stories here for y'all to go over. So I have a bunch of stories. Pardon me. I have a bunch of stories. The first one is man sues parents over trashed porn collection. Authorities refuse to file charges in case. I mean, it was his private property. A man now living in Indiana is suing his parents after he says they destroyed his valuable porn collection. How is this not? The station chose to identify the plaintiff in this story as Charlie, as this is a civil case without any associated criminal charges. They destroyed his private property. The case dates back to October 2016 when, according to a lawsuit filed this week, Charlie moved into his parents' home in Grand Haven after going through a divorce with his wife. Charlie apparently stayed for 10 months in their home doing housework in lieu of paying rent. He was asked to leave after police had to be called to the house in August of 2017 for a domestic situation. His parents allegedly traveled in November 2017 to his new place in Indiana to drop off possessions he had left at their home. Already missing from the items they brought, Charlie's massive pornography collection. Charlie says his parents told him that they destroyed the entire collection, a collection that consisted of over 12 moving boxes full of movies. 12 moving boxes, guys and gals. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office was eventually called about the destroyed items. Charlie filed a police report estimating the value of his collection to be $29,000. Oh, yeah, baby. I think that puts us at 8 subs today. That puts us at 8 subs. We are 2 subs away from me gifting a sub today. Or my second sub of the day. Remember that today, every time we get 5 subs, I'm going to gift 1. The prosecutor's office declined to file charges against his parents. Dude, you're talking about grand larceny, right? Like, this is a felony. It's $29,000. That guy obviously never wanted to get bored or have his ISP find out what kind of dirt he's into. Charlie should have just bought a sex robot. It would have been cheaper, CG. No wonder his wife left him. Big P, thanks again for the 7 months. Thank you. Just a month after filing a police report, Charlie apparently began corresponding with his father via email, telling him in part, if you had a problem with my belongings, you should have stated that at the time and I would have gone elsewhere. Instead, you chose to keep quiet and behave vindictively. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like an estranged relationship. Anyway, just make sure that you don't leave your $30,000 porn collection at your parents because you never know what may happen to it. Hey, what happened here? California moving towards a ban on little shampoos, conditioner bottles from hotels. That is correct, folks. In California alone, hotels use hundreds of millions of single-use plastic bottles every year, said blah, 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 blah. CALRA is co-authoring a bill that would ban the tiny plastic bottles at almost 10,000 hotels statewide. So basically what they're trying to do is they are trying to ban, like anytime you stayed at a hotel and they leave you the little complimentary shampoo and conditioner bottles, the state of California is trying to ban those. Typically what I've found is if California does something, then you start to see that starts to happen across the country because it's hard for business. California's a big state. And so it's hard for businesses to do something in one state and not do it in other states. And so California, a lot of times when they do something, you start to see kind of a trickle effect when it comes to business requirements and whatnot. And actually, interesting story. So when I had my e-commerce business in 2017 or 2016, there was a title something or other in the state of California that said that that manufacturers had to put on the label if their products had certain ingredients, right? And so what wound up, so then they had a provision in that title, and that title said, if your business had less than 13 employees or 10 employees, something like that, you didn't have to put that sticker. And so what they did was they wrote this thing so that if you had a small business, you didn't have to do that, right? And so I had that small business. And so what wound up happening to me was that the manufacturers that first year, they said, they sent me like a correspondence, and they said, hey, we noticed that you are selling products in the state of California and you're not putting these stickers. You need to start doing this, right? And then I responded, and I linked them to the title from California that explained if you had less than so many employees. And I said, and we, in fact, do have less than 10 employees because there's only 3 of us. And so we're not required to do this. Well, within 6 to 8 months, I started to get contacted by those manufacturers telling me that they were no longer going to sell directly to me, and they wanted me to stop selling their products. And so what wound up happening was this title that was written in a way to protect small businesses eventually created a very difficult situation for me, because I lost I lost 4 manufacturers, 2 of which were my biggest manufacturers, which then led to the situation where I had to get out of that business, right? Where I had to try to sell it. And so, it's the unintended consequences of a lot of these things. People don't really see, they don't really understand what, where it's going to end up. But anyway, so yeah, this is a new thing that's happening in California. Infinity Ward. So I read this yesterday on my way back. And so Infinity Ward Respawn co-founder. And so for those of you that don't know, the 2 heads of Infinity Ward had a falling out with Activision, and then they left and they started a company called Respawn. Respawn is the developer for Apex Legends. So anyway, so the Infinity Ward Respawn co-founder working with Epic Games. So Jason West, one of the co-founders of game development studio Infinity Ward and Respawn Entertainment, is now working with Epic Games on a new project, according to a tweet from the Game Awards producer Jeff Keighley. The Fortnite studio quietly hired West to work on its game development efforts, Keighley said. He's reportedly been in Epic's office for about a month. So this is kind of exciting because it means that Epic Games is coming out with something new. It's probably going to be, something big. And the other thing is that this guy is OG Call of Duty. And so Infinity Ward did a great job making games. So this actually could be kind of cool. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, but yeah. So I wanted to let y'all know about that. This guy is on the low working at Epic Games now, and so he was responsible for the first 2 Call of Duties, and then so the Modern Warfare series, and then I believe he worked on Titanfall, and then I think he took a break after Titanfall. But so anyway, so kind of cool that they picked him up. And then last but not least, dog is rescued after it's found swimming 135 miles out at sea. Oil rig workers pluck pooch from Gulf of Thailand and have no idea how it got there. The brown aspen was spotted by oil rig workers poking its head above the waves. Exhausted mutts swam over to them and took refuge in the rig's rusty metal bars. So here's the dog here. But so this dog swam 135 miles is what they think anyway. I do need to be careful because I want to say that some of the pictures on this site could be questionable. Anyway, so they rescued the dog, but kind of amazing, huh? I mean, can you imagine swimming 135 miles? I'd probably just drowned. And the other thing is he didn't get eaten. But here's where the dog was rescued off the coast of Thailand. And so they rescued him, and then so at the end of the story, it says that he will be dinner for them this evening. And so, GG, we'll catch you later, doggo. But anyway, that's our fake news for the day. Again, April 15, 2019.